that it was a little bit more convenient for me to work for me because I didn't like clocking in and going and being scheduled at work. So I went and took a hair class, got my license, and been cutting ever since. I'm going to have a barber school. I'm going to need y'all, so come on through.
That's it. Yeah.
On this episode of The Boss Move, we talked with Kenneth Walker, owner of the Man Bib Barber Shop, located in Orlando, Florida. Let's see why Kenny chose to become an entrepreneur and to pave his way to financial freedom.
Tell us about the Man Bib. How did you get started? What did you come up with the concept? And tell us about yourself.
Well, again, my name is Kenneth Walker. I've been a barber since like 1989. That's when I started cutting hair. And then I used it later on when I came home from college. And I ended up finding out that it was a little bit more convenient for me to work for me because I didn't like clocking in and going and being scheduled at work. So I went and took a hair class, got my license, and been cutting ever since.
Okay.
The Man Bib came for a couple of reasons. You know, when we were kids, we wear bibs to protect our clothes from getting hurt or soiled or whatever, food falling in our beard. It kind of catches from keeping our clothes from getting dirty, so I thought about a man bib.
Okay.
But then I was also inspired by the scripture in the Bible that speaks about Aaron's beard. Okay. When you have the anointing of the oil that fell down onto the beard. So it's a covering. Okay. So it's a covering in more than one way. Our beard is our strength, is our covering, as well as, you know, protect you from you got some food, you might want to get your shirt dirty. Your beard can catch it for you. And so I parlayed that into a logo that had the look of a full beard. Okay. As you can see, you know, I have like a pretty full
you have
beard.
A man bib.
It's a man bib,
yes,
right.
Yes.
So I wanted to like let people just have a place where they can come and see, you know, how you can be successful and be able to bounce ideas and have a place where you can feel safe and comfortable and talk about things. Exactly. And with that being said, that's what the Man Bib was about. You know, okay. Just that being said with that.
Hey, okay. Psalm 133 is that a reference you made about the beard, Aaron's beard?
Yes, sir.
And also you spoke about your freedom. You know, being your own boss. That's the whole concept of Boss Move anyway. So you saw a need where you wanted to not clock in. As we spoke a little bit off camera, you talked about how you wanted to be your own boss and not clock in. So how has that been? What are the challenges of being your own boss?
Well, one of the challenges when you're speaking into the barber industry especially is client retention. There's 1,000 barbers. Like you can go in this area and drive for 5 minutes and see 100 barbershops.
Exactly.
So this person might come to you, but then the following week they might go to someone else, and then the week after that go to someone else. So the key to being able to be successful in this industry is to know how to keep your clients coming back. Okay. What do you provide that somebody else is not doing that makes them want to come spend their money with you? Be it might be more, but then you get more and people don't mind paying for it. So to me, it's just a matter of knowing how to budget your money. Because we get paid with cash normally, it's easy to just spend it because you think, hey, I made X, Y, Z today. Right. I'll get it back tomorrow. Man. And that's not always the case.
No.
Remember that.
No. Right. No, that's not all. And man, that's key because the whole reason you came into barbering and your own freelance entrepreneurship is to make money and to manage money. That's one thing that we have to be more educated on is money, how it works, and you know how to make money. You know, of course we don't print it, but we have to make it in some kind of way. Correct. And you chose to trade that 9 to 5 for your time, because time is the most important thing we have. Correct. And now you could have freedom to come, you know, make your own hours and leave when you need to, but still know the quotas that you have to reach every day. Every day. So give us like a typical day in the life of the Man Bib Barbershop, like, you know, just any typical day.
Well, most days I come in about 10, and that's mostly during the beginning of the week, and I leave about 6 or 7. You come in, even though I work off appointments and they're normally set already, you still want to be in place because you can have a walk-in that can come in. Okay. You might get a new client, somebody looking for a new barber, somebody just moved in town. So how I like to do it is to just be sitting here, reading, trying to find out the next way to improve myself, And then in between customers, might try to grab a snack or something because
Right.
it's a long day. But you come in, you greet people, you work with a lot of nice people, and you meet a lot of nice people in this industry. And so a typical day is coming in, cutting about 10 or so heads a day. And
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, yeah, well, that's to the weekend, and that could be 20, 25 in a day.
Okay.
But that takes time.
Right.
And I'm not in a barbershop, I'm in a suite.
Okay.
So it's just me. I don't have like a sign that says this is the Man Bib Barber Shop.
Gotcha.
I work in a suite. So like I have to be responsible for bringing my own clients in. But that's a whole different level. That's a boss move in itself.
Amen.
Because I worked in a barbershop for most of my career.
Right.
And I realized that I need to be doing my own thing. Because once you've done it for a while, you kind of get out of the employee mindset and you get into more of an employer mindset. Everyone doesn't come along with you on that all the time.
Correct. And you said another boss move there. You work in a suite. So you have to be mindful of, I guess, bringing in your own clientele. That means you have to do some marketing. So what are some of the ways you market the Man Bib?
I use this app called Booksy, and I have my own personal app that I created because I wanted to brand myself and not just be a part of everything else. So I have the Man Bib app, and then I have Booksy, but then I also have business cards.
Okay.
I'll go out, and on the back of my business card, if you don't want to take the card, I say, well, just use your QR code on your phone. Here, scan this, and it'll take you to my app. My clients are responsible a lot for the new customers that I get too, because they tell their friends.
Okay.
And word of mouth is the best form of advertisement.
Exactly.
I mean, if nobody's talking about you, then nobody's not going to look for you.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Right. So I use those platforms. I have a website. I have a web domain. Everything is branded for the Man Bib. Instagram, Twitter, all those different social media networks.
Okay.
But mostly it's just by pounding the pavement. Get out there and tell somebody, hey, I got a suite. You can check my pictures out here. Just scan this, or you can just go to my app, or you can go to Google, and whatever, to get them in here. But and I also offer discounts.
Okay.
Sometimes I send out to my regular clients a discount.
That helps.
Hey, here's 20% off for you today. Then they tell somebody, oh, my barber just gave me 20% off. Boom, I want to go to him. He looking like, oh, you look good every time you got a haircut.
Yep.
I want to go to him. So just those different little things. You kind of got to do everything. It also depends on if you have, like I said earlier, services that people not doing.
Right.
So if you're doing like scalp micropigmentation, that's something that not a lot of people are doing.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's like a tattoo for your hairline.
Okay.
So people that's really thin and bald in the front and they don't have a hairline, you literally tattoo the little hair follicles along the hairline.
Something new, man.
Yeah. So that and the treatment for calotis folliculis, which is the bumps a lot of people get in the back of their neck sometimes. Those are things that can get you advertisement because people don't necessarily have that easy access to it. So when you have that, people talk about that too.
Okay.
Oh, I know I can get this done here. If you're doing something that somebody else is not doing, get more people to come in.
That makes a whole lot of sense. So to retain customers, you have to have a unique type of footprint or some type of unique service.
Like a signature.
Yeah, like a signature.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll keep them coming back. And the customer is your walking advertisement as well, because they say, okay, you man, you look, tight. You go to work, you go to you go home, your wife, your whatever it is, come to your, and they see the finished product. They're gonna want to know where did you go to get that haircut.
Correct.
Something else you said earlier about retaining and your customers. I'm one of your customers as well.
Correct.
I'm in another state right now, but I'm here. Anytime I'm here, I make sure I come see Man Bib, Kenneth Walker.
Right.
And it's a code, right? In barbering, that if you have one barber, you don't cheat on your barber. So you're supposed to stick with your barber. And he's been cutting my hair for
about at least 15, 20 years.
Yeah, 15, 20 years or more. So
or more, yeah.
Yeah, and wherever he is, I make sure I find him because he's that good. And another thing about being your own boss, you said that you work in a suite where this is not a building that you lease this space.
My space.
Tell us the pros and cons of that. If there's a pro, if there's a con, let us know.
Well, the pros, I think, are it's your own individual space. So when the person comes in, and the customer, new customer, old customer, returning customer, they come in, they have an environment that's conducive to peace and exclusivity and like privacy. A lot of people don't like being observed per se when they're getting haircuts.
Right.
So it's a good place to come where you can close your door and it's just me and you.
Exactly.
There's nobody gonna come in here unless I open my door. You got to worry about people saying how many people you got because they're gonna have to find out after I'm done because you're in here just for you. Another pro is you're able to like individualize and brand yourself more.
Right. I see.
You can make yourself stand out because it's just your space. Now the cons of it is one of a few are the lack of like traffic.
Okay.
Because when you're in a business that caters to the salon suite structure, you don't have a lot of people walking in because mostly everyone that has their suite is already establishing their clientele.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you don't have a clientele, the wrong thing to do is to rent out a suite.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Unless you just want to struggle and pay somebody just to be paying them.
Okay, let's pause right there. That's key. So if I'm a barber that just started off, it wouldn't be a good idea to have a suite. I should work in a barbershop until I build up my clientele. Is that what you're saying?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because like, let's just say while you're in hair school, people can already tell that you're a good barber and you've racked up 50, 75 people that's guaranteed to come to you when you get out of school.
Right.
Now, if they're consistent and loyal and you trust them enough, then take the chance. You understand what I'm saying? But if not, then yeah, it's definitely the best idea to start in a barbershop.
Okay.
Under somebody who knows how to cut hair.
Right.
That's been cutting hair, that has their own clientele and their own introduction to how to be a barber.
Okay.
So you can just go in a barbershop. I mean, even when I first started, you know, they just put you in there, you just cut hair as long as you pay, they don't really care.
Nah.
You understand what I'm saying? So unless you got somebody that's really like, I was lucky. I grew up in the barbershop with people like Kurt Cooper and Gary Stone and Patch Harris, you know, Mike Love, me. You know, I went in there and they already knew how to cut hair before I got there.
Okay.
I had the basics, but I was able to watch each one of them. Each one of them had a different signature. Like this guy might have had the best edges. This guy might have made her look the most, eyebrows look the best. Or that fade, he knew how to make a haircut fit their head really well. So I had the opportunity to look at them for 7 years before I left. That's the longest barbershop I ever had worked in was 7 years.
Okay.
And I was able to take from each one of them and build my own style, taking from this, that, and the other.
Okay.
So the pros would be you get to work for yourself, which you do anyway in a barbershop, but it's yours. If you don't want nobody in here, it's closed, shop closed, it's all on you. Cons is if you don't have the clientele, you won't last long.
I hear you.
Won't
And
last
that's it. So
long.
make sure you're building up your clientele, those
Correct.
that are contemplating going into this type of industry before you move into a suite. And I like the suite, but like you said, because you have a bit of intimacy, you can close a door. Me myself, I don't like to go in a barbershop that's really rowdy.
Right.
You know, and I like you said, you've been in a lot of barbershops before,
Yes,
and
I have.
I've been to one where it was rowdy. You're like kind of nervous while you're in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The arguments, it's just different. And
Right.
you come here, you can relax. It's like a spa.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
For men or women. You know, women also get their hair cut.
Correct.
And you know, that's why I say that little escape for however long it takes to get your hair cut, it should be a place to where you can kind of just relax your mind, and then when you leave here, you're ready to conquer whatever else you got to do.
That's right.
Let's talk about the finances, the revenue. You said you cut you say 10 heads. Is that on Monday through Friday? Is that the weekend, or how is that? You said maybe around 10 heads.
That'll be like the beginning of the week.
Okay.
You know, it's more of those days more like not packed, but just steady enough to where it works itself out by the end of the day, which is why I say you have the hours 10 to 6, 8 hours, you know, a day. But the weekend, like 20 to 25 in a day.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to have the schedule set for 12 hours instead of 10 hours. And then sometimes you got to work a little less hours to close for one day to fit something to another day.
Gotcha.
So you can make anywhere from, I would say, $100 is a minimum in a day.
Okay.
But again, that's depending on the clients, what your scheduling is like, how good you are, how dependable you are you consistent? So you can make, I would say, at least in a barbershop. I'm talking in a barbershop.
Right.
Not necessarily talking about a suite because I'm in a different level than that.
Right.
But in a barbershop, nothing against barbershops.
No, nothing against barbershops.
Nothing against barbershops.
Gotta start somewhere.
I'm going to have a barber school and I'm going to need y'all, so come on through.
That's it, yeah.
So you could, in a barbershop being that there's a lot of walk-ins. That's why location is so important. They tell you in school, location, location, location. That's more important than anything.
Gotcha.
Because you can be the best barber and never be known and never catch anybody because you're in a barbershop where there's no traffic.
That's true. Facts.
So, as far as finances, your first year you probably can make about $35,000.
Okay.
35.
Okay.
That's a good start out fee or amount of money to be made, or you want to call it a salary or whatever. A first year barber should be able to clear $35,000.
Okay.
Should be.
Should be.
If they're there like they're supposed to be, and like I said, if they're consistent and dependable, then even if you're not a good barber, and I've worked with some barbers that's not good, but still was making money because they were there.
Okay.
And they were available. They say the best ability is availability. So when their ability might not be there, their availability is.
Exactly.
So now they're getting money too and getting to practicing how to cut hair. So, on a slow week, you might make $1,000.
Okay.
On a real good week, you might make $4,000.
Okay.
Maybe $6,000. It could be. It could be anywhere between that. But that again goes back to your experience level, how long you've been cutting hair, how many people have you got for your clients, what your price ranges are,
right.
how much you charging, what are you providing, and, do you have any side hustles, are you offering products? I mean, it's a lot of different things that you can do to, expand that ticket while you're in here, not just be stuck with just the hair cutting.
Gotcha. So you can like vertically branch out. You mentioned hair products. You mentioned even a vending machine you spoke about putting in here, which you're trying to beat me to the punch.
That's okay.
But that's another way, another stream of revenue.
Correct.
And that's very lucrative to make that much a week. And it sounds like it's more performance based, based on your performance, because you said that if you're not that good of a barber, but you're there. Somebody can walk in and maybe your barber is busy or not there that day. Hey, I know he's not that great,
right? But
he can't mess up an edge, or he might not. All I need is this,
right?
And then they might gain a cut from that.
Correct.
That's very, very, very crucial information for those that maybe wanted to get into this type of industry. To know barber school. You say you went to school for barbering. How long did that take?
I actually went for cosmetology.
Cosmetology.
Yeah. It almost took me about a year.
Okay.
And that's about the norm, like 10 to 12 months. But you can get done in 7.5 to 8 months if you just go every day, do all your services, do what you're supposed to do while you're there, and show up and get into the end. You can get out maybe 8 months.
Okay.
But when you're knucklehead like I was, and I leave at lunch and don't come back. And then come the next day and do the same thing over again.
Yeah.
So it's all about your consistency again, your dedication, and the effort.
Okay.
So school was, pretty cool. I enjoyed school. We learned a lot, and I learned a lot just from experience with my hands with doing stuff. So,
correct.
Yeah.
You spoke about you spoke about a school. So tell us a little bit about that vision. What do you want to do with that?
Well, I've been doing this about 30 years now. So I've acquired a lot of knowledge and experience. And my only concern that I see these days in the barber game is everybody want to go straight to the hairspray, hair fiber, hair color, every cheat code without really knowing how to cut hair. Like they don't have the basic foundation. Your fade looks terrible, but you got to spray and paint it so nice that you're looking like you can go to a model shoot. Right. But then you wake up the next day and your haircut is on your pillow. You understand? So my thing with the school would just be so that I can give back. I'm from Orlando. This is my community. This is my home. I grew up here, born here, raised here. I want to have a school where I can give back, specifically for the minorities. Yeah. I want to be in a black area, an Afrocentric area. Okay. They don't have to be smack dab in the hood, but they need to be close enough to where they can walk if they have to. Okay. You understand? Because I want access to these children, because if they get into my program, I might be able to get to the magnet school program where they can come while they're graduating high school, come to me for the rest of the day. When they get out, they're equipped. Okay. When they graduate, they got a whole license where they can go. They don't want to go to college. Hey, you can go cut hair. Why? Because at 16, I got my cosmetology or my barber's license, and I graduated, and now I'm ready to go to work.
Exactly.
So now you're adding jobs to the workforce.
Okay.
And you're helping your community, because that knucklehead that might have been in jail because he's trying to get money out here, don't see another way, come to realize, hey, man, I can make some money cutting hair. A lot of these guys are artists. They really are artistic. Yes. And they don't have no outlet. So my intention is to just give back. to them.
Okay.
To just be that person. I've been in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing things that I shouldn't have done in my life. And it's through grace of God that I'm still here today. And so my whole issue, or my whole mission, I should say, is to try to give back to the youth so they don't have to feel like they're lost out here.
That's awesome.
That's pretty much.
That's awesome, because people over profit. You know, of course, you're in it to make some money, but the people are more important to you. You want to be in a specific area and to reach the youth and those that may be at risk and those that are not. You know, there's some people that's not.
Well, you said it, you know, it's about like, you know, you in it because, you know, you get paid, you make money, right? But I don't look at it quite like that. We're in agreement because I mean, I'm not going to be doing it for free.
Right.
But the money is the result of what you've done.
Right.
It's not the point of what you're doing.
Correct.
It's the result. So if I gave this person a good haircut, they felt I deserve this much money. I'm not going into this, I'm going to charge you this amount of money so I can get it for your haircut. I want to make sure that when I get that money, it's a result of my work that I put in. Not just because I'm charging that, you know what I mean? Not because I got a bill due to pay or something like that.
Exactly.
So it's more so, yeah, it is about profit, but it's not. It's more so about the people.
Yeah, but you just described your passion. You
Right.
know, you just described it perfectly, your passion
Right.
for people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's important, because if you have a business, you have to have a passion for people. I mean, that should be your whole reason of going into business, not just for money. Of course, you need money,
Right.
but that will come. It's like you said, that will come. You love people. You do right by people.
Right.
They're gonna speak volumes of you. So as we close this off, tell us about your social media, where they can find you, Man Bib, or how they could reach out to you. This is your moment to just let them know.
Well, I'm on the Instagram, as they call it, and my Instagram page is the_man_bib, B-I-B. That's on my Instagram page. I also have my own web address. It's the manbibbarber.com, and I also use Barberly and Booksy to book.
Okay.
And you can find me on any one of those platforms, and it's a booking link on my Instagram page. You can just push it on that. It'll come straight to me. Got pictures and work and everything else that you can see on there.
All right.
I look forward to it. Thank you, D.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Thank you. I almost said.